Hello and welcome to Ballard Design's 101 series. My name is Roger, your host. Often, one of the most challenging tasks when decorating a home is blending different patterns into a cohesive design. Between color and scale, there's a lot to consider. In this episode, we're sharing our best tips for building balance with multiple patterns in a single room. We'll walk you through where to start, and we'll finish with a few real-world examples. And if you like this video, be sure to click the like and subscribe button below for even more great home decorating content from Ballard Designs. And with that, let's talk about patterns. Whether adding more personality to an existing room or starting from scratch, we use 4 basic steps when mixing patterns. First, choose an inspiration piece. This is something you absolutely love, and this will help you pull together a palette. It could be a piece of fabric, a rug, or a vase in your favorite color. Some designers use places or pull from nature to spark their inspiration. Discover what inspires you and sets the mood that you desire. If you're concerned about mixing different patterns together in a single room, start by choosing a single color and then 3 or 4 different patterns all in that same shade. Many designers start with a monochromatic color scheme and build complexity from there. So if you're just starting out, keep it simple. Now once you have your inspiration and color scheme, take inventory of the space you're working on. Make note of the room's dimensions and location within the house. Write down the furniture you have and make a list of what you need or want. Organize things into 3 different categories. There's anchor pieces. These are the big items like tables, sofas. There's accent pieces, which are medium sized like drapery panels, tablecloths, and occasional chairs or end tables. And finally, accessories, which are the smallest items like pillows, throws, and lampshades. Starting with your anchor pieces, you'll want to use the inspiration, color scheme, and completed inventory list of your chosen room to start working towards building a balance of patterns. Every home and pattern collection is different, so we have a few different strategies for building your own balance that can help you approach the task. First is the 10-30-60 rule. Simply put, you'll start with a bold pattern on 10% of your room. After that, add a supporting complementary pattern to 30% of your room. For the remaining 60%, choose coordinating solids. Another useful strategy is what we like to call the pick one formula. Simply stated, blend 1 floral, 1 geometric, and 1 stripe together, and then use 1 solid color to balance those 3 patterns. Our final strategy is starting from the floor up with a rug. Pick a patterned area rug and let that be the anchor piece from which you build the room. The primary benefit of this strategy is that if the rug is large enough, you only have to mix patterns with smaller items and accessories to build a balance. We'll be walking through these 3 strategies in more detail shortly. Also, keep in mind, these steps build off each other. So if you find yourself getting lost near the end of the process, take a breath. Go back to your inspiration and reevaluate. And once you're confident in your inspiration, move through the process again. Now, let's take these 4 steps and apply them to some real-world examples. So now that you have our steps for mixing patterns in mind, let's put the act of building a balance with different patterns to the test by using the 3 strategies we mentioned earlier. Let's start with a 10-30-60 rule. And as we talked about earlier in the segment, we spoke about finding an inspiration piece. This could be a vase, it could be a favorite throw pillow, it could be perhaps even a piece of fabric that you found that you really felt inspired by and got the feels for. In our case, we chose this beautiful fabric as our inspiration piece. Great color and nice, very large scale. As you can see in the living room, we decided to put that on 10% of the room, which is on the upholstered chair with the ottoman. So from there, we're going to go to the 30%, and that's going to be a complementary fabric in a smaller scale. In this case, we chose this smaller scale. You can see the bird here is very large compared to the flowers in this, so your scale is smaller. That's on the 2 X benches near the fireplace and a great focal point. And then this also in similar colors, but in a much smaller scale as well, with a lot more negative space. And this is on the drapery panels in that space. So I want to show you something that there are other options you could go with. This is also an option that you could use in the space. Similar color family, lots of negative space. This could be good for your drapery panels as well. So there are different options you can choose for that 30%, as long as they're coordinating with your starting point and your 10% of your room. Finally, it's that 60%, and that's going to be a solid. And these are the solids that we chose. These two are in the same color family. We're pulling from our inspiration piece to select these solid colors. This is on our sofa, and these are on the two club chairs, or on the two chairs in the room. Larger space, lots of room on those chairs to feature this color. Keep in mind with a 10-30-60 rule, it's 10% of your inspiration fabric. The next 30%, if you're choosing two different patterns, just kind of break those up into about 30%. So you can do 15% of this one and 15% of that, or 10 of this and another percentage. So you can just, as long as it's about roughly 30% of the space you're working on. And finally, 60% of the room would be your solids. However you decide to do that, that could be your wall color, it could be a sofa or chairs in that space as well. Next, let's talk about our pick one formula. And this is probably the easiest because you're simply going to go out and pick one of each of the patterns for your room. In this case, we're working on a dining room, and we picked one geometric, one botanical or floral, one stripe, and one solid. It's basically that simple. Here's our rug in a geometric pattern with the dots on it. We picked our floral or botanical. Again, keeping in mind our rug and our color coordinating together. Our solid, again, coming out of this particular fabric here, we're pulling the green, and then our stripe, also in the same color family. And that's about how simple it is. Our final formula is start with a rug. If you're having trouble finding an inspiration piece, maybe you're challenged with choosing colors, a rug is a fantastic and easy way to start. Find something that you're inspired by. Here we chose this beautiful gray, pink, and blue rug that we're using in our dining room. And from there, we're gonna build our patterns. And all you're gonna do is start coordinating fabrics to it. Just start looking at fabrics that are complementary. You're gonna pull some of these colors out. This beautiful embroidered floral. You can see we've got the blues and the pinks from the rug. Some of the golds and even the greens are pulled out. We're using this on our in chairs in the dining room, and this beautiful botanical as well. Same color family. It's very easy to coordinate this. You can just pull these colors directly out, using this on the drapery panels in the space. And finally, a solid. And one of my favorite colors, pink, pulling this directly again out of the rug, and we're using this on the seat pans of the side chairs in the dining room. So once you decide on your rug, you probably want to restrict yourself to maybe 2 or 3 patterns like your florals and your botanicals, but you can use any number of solids that you want to use in this space. And it's really that simple, just starting out with the rug as your springboard, as your palette, and building from there. Keep in mind that these are just 3 suggestions or rules that we use for selecting patterns, but there are a lot of different ways to do that. Find the one that works best for you. We hope the tips we've shared today inspired you to start mixing your favorite patterns with confidence and joy. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the Ballard Designs YouTube channel. And if you're looking for a deep dive into even more decorating tips and tricks, visit ballarddesigns.com and click on our How to Decorate blog. And know too that we're here to help by phone, online, or at one of our beautiful retail stores. Until next time, I'm Roger, and happy decorating.